If you've been hurt in an accident, you may be wondering, how much is my case worth? Then you see lawyers on TV claiming to tell you how much your case is worth if you call them. So let me tell you something that might surprise you. This is coming from a lawyer. If anyone gives you a number on day one, a confident, specific dollar figure right after your accident, you should be skeptical, not impressed, skeptical. I'm going to explain exactly why, including a few things learned from my years spent on the other side of these cases. I'm Mason Rashtian. I'm a personal injury attorney and I represent people who've been seriously injured because of someone else's negligence. But here's what makes my perspective a little different. For nearly a decade, I was an insurance defense attorney. I worked for the insurance companies, and my job was to evaluate those exact claims and figure out how to pay as little as possible on them. So when I tell you how the value of a case is really gets determined, I'm not guessing. I've sat in the room where these decisions get made. So let's get into it. The single biggest factor in determining how much your case is worth is your medical picture. And on day one, nobody knows what that picture looks like. Not you, not your doctor, and definitely not a lawyer. And here's why. Right after an accident, you don't know the full extent of your injuries. A lot of serious injuries, including soft tissue damage, herniated discs, and even traumatic brain injuries, don't fully show themselves for days or weeks. You might feel okay and end up needing surgery. Or conversely, you may think you have a catastrophic injury and recover faster than expected. There's a concept doctors and lawyers use that's called maximum medical improvement. This basically means you reach a point where you're healed as much as possible, and until you reach that point, no one can honestly say how much your total medical treatment will cost. No one will know whether you need future surgeries or ongoing care. No one will know whether you'll have a permanent disability or limitation. No one can tell you whether you can return to work as you did before. Every one of these things dramatically changes the value of your case. A claim that looks like a few $1,000s in a week can turn into something far more serious by month three, and the reverse could happen. So, a lawyer who throws out a number on day one is either guessing or telling you what you want to hear just to get you to sign up with them. Neither one is doing you any favors. Let's talk about what actually goes into the value of a personal injury case so you understand why it takes time to pin it down. Your damages generally fall into two buckets. First bucket are your medical bills, both what you're already incurred and what you're going to incur in the future. Future medical care can be huge and it cannot be calculated until your doctors understand your full prognosis. Second, we have your lost income, not just a paycheck you've missed, but any future earning capacity if your injury affects your ability to work long term. That's often the largest number in a serious case and one of the hardest to calculate early on. Third, we have your pain and suffering. The physical pain, the emotional toll, the things that you can no longer do. This isn't a number you pull out of thin air. It's tied directly to how serious and how lasting your injuries turn out to be. Now, here's something most people don't realize, and this is the part I saw from working on the inside. The insurance company is running these same calculations, but they're running them to find the floor, not the ceiling. They're going at your medical bills to look for any reason to argue that your injuries isn't that bad, that you had pre-existing conditions, or that you didn't really need that treatment, which is exactly why you don't want to lock into a value or accept an offer before your treatment plays out. Because once you settle, you're done. There's no going back for more if your condition gets worse. If you've been injured and you want to understand what your case might be worth, without the sales pitch and without a made up number. That's the kind of straight conversation I have with people